Yo. Oh, hang on. Need my mic, don't I? Yo. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the stream. We've got a very interesting stream today. Obviously, got a lot of development to cover since we was live yesterday, with the absolute chaos that was involved last night, and that is taking place now. So yeah, welcome back to the stream. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope they removed the words tariff from the English language. I don't think there's any chance of that. Feeling liberated. Feeling liberated from profit, eh? Feeling liberated from upside profit. Yeah, exactly that you just said, Mad Fan. Feel liberated from all money. Good morning, Coffee. Good afternoon to you, good sir. How we doing, my good friend? Great to see you. Hope all is well. Let me know who else is in the chat. Get your comments in. And make sure you drop big thumbs up on the stream. Let's get the likes going. Let's go. I just need to do something. One second. But yeah, I hope everyone's feeling liberated after yesterday. You feeling liberated? Let me know in the chat. Or you're feeling liberated from all your money. We'll take a look at everything that's going on. Bitcoin, DXY, the MAG7, the S&P, and obviously altcoins. Let me just load up the chat. Make sure you do drop a like on the stream. Now I can see we've got 19 viewers, 6 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get the likes going. Please do. It does help me out massively. If you happen to be new, do make sure you drop a subscribe. Right, first things first, let me get this in the pinned bit. Okay, let me pin this, and we will get the poll going straight away as well. Let's get the poll going. So do make sure you get your vote in on the poll as well. Let's get that poll started. There we go. So yeah, do make sure you go and vote on that. Come on, guys. 23 viewers, 7 likes. Do your part. It only takes a minute. But we are dropping on Bitcoin, so let's obviously start with Bitcoin from what we had yesterday. Let's turn Stonksy off just for a second because we want to look at obviously where Bitcoin was yesterday, and we did come into. It looked like we was going to break obviously this downtrend that we've had here. We've had this descending trend line built up. Obviously, each time it's touched it, Bitcoin has come into supply, and we've dropped away. However, we did obviously come up yesterday, and it looked like we were going to break through. And then again, you know, we came into kind of this supply area here, spiked in. I was very annoyed with myself, actually. I was thinking to myself, why did I not just set a short order like around these highs here? A limit short and just have to stop, you know, if it broke above 90k or something. I really don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I didn't do that, but yeah, we are obviously big dirty 4-hour candle, which is now rolling over into, we did have a dead cat bounce. So obviously come up, dead cat bounce, traded in a little low time frame range, and then bang, back to the downside. So I do expect us to come and take this low out and continue lower, in my opinion. But we have had absolute destruction on the S&P. So if you look on the S&P, so yesterday I had this area outlined as potential where the price would come into and then fall away. Obviously, we did get a big dirty spike here to come and guess and run some of these stops above here. But this is where I was looking at, and yeah, it did fall away. But, you know, again, another big nasty 4-hour candle on the S&P, and we are now trading lower on the S&P than earlier in the week, and obviously lower than March's lows. But it's not all bad news, because I think it was on Monday's stream I discussed this level I was looking for, 5394-ish, and we do have a little bit of hopium around the 5,200s, 5,300s-ish. So I don't think all is lost yet. We may just have a little bit of more of a squeeze down to go. We should put Bitcoin in a nice promising position if you look at the long. Let me know in the chat what's everyone's feeling on the market. Yeah, key one to watch, obviously S&P alongside Bitcoin. I do expect us to continue down today. One that's been getting absolutely smashed is the DXY. So the DXY has came into, if we go on the weekly chart, pretty much coming into now demand, where it's found, over the past 3 years since we come up in, early/mid 2022, where we formed this trading range. Coming now to the lowest parts where the DXY has found demand previously. So is it going to catch a bid, or is this 3-year kind of range that we've formed here now potentially complete? And are we going to start potentially, dropping to the downside, looking to come into sort of these levels here? You would expect out of all of them, you would expect it potentially come and check out around here, mid 90s. So we will see. We will see. If we have a look at the Mag 7 pre-market, we have a big drop, obviously, pre-market today on the Mags ETF. But in terms of individual stocks, we've got Nvidia absolutely smashed down 7 points. We've got Apple down, I think the worst of them. I think Apple's down the worst, yeah. So Apple is currently down nearly 8% from yesterday's close. I'm guessing that is, out of all them Mag 7, them Mag 7 companies, I suppose Apple is probably the biggest, maybe exporter of product, I would imagine, out of all these. I don't know. But it's getting hit the hardest for some reason. I would imagine that is maybe the reason. I don't know. Meta down 5%. Got Microsoft again down. Amazon down. Google down. I don't know, what was Tesla? Yeah, Tesla down. So yeah, Mag 7 companies getting hit hard as well, which is obviously driving the S&P down, which now Bitcoin is catching up to, because Bitcoin was holding up well. However, we've now started to catch up the rollover on the S&P. So do get your comments in. Let me know who we've got in the chat. And for some reason, it doesn't look like any comments are coming through. We do have 64% of people thinking we go down. Do make sure you drop your comments in. I found it hard to believe that no one else has commented since. Is there something wrong with the comment box, or I don't know? You guys tell me. Is the comments working all okay? But please do drop a like. We've got roughly a third, 33% here, nearly, has dropped a like on the stream. Please, let's get that up if we can. Test. Oh no. We are all hollow inside, bro. Yeah, feeling liberated, aren't we? Test. Yeah, it's all working fine. Finally caught another live. Yes, Stella, great to see you. Thank you very much for joining again. But, yeah, so that's what we're covering. Obviously, that's what we've got going on at the moment. Now, we've got Bitcoin, so should we do Bitcoin before we look at anything else? Obviously, Stonksy's in a nice little 5-minute short there. If anyone didn't catch the stream yesterday as well, obviously it was Wednesday, so we had Save with Crypto on. Now, he joined the high-frequency bot, the high-frequency Stonksy trading bot, live on stream. And we managed, after him joining it, the high-frequency bot opened a trade pretty soon after, and he got plus 10% P&L live on stream. It was absolutely fantastic yesterday. That's getting clipped up into a video on the channel. But yeah, fantastic stream yesterday. Now, where am I interested in potentially stepping into the market? Obviously, like I mentioned before, I didn't short this move down yesterday. So I'm interested anywhere around 80k, I think. I'm interested anywhere around the 80k mark. Potentially, I think we maybe come and sweep this low, because obviously that would just be a logical place to sweep liquidity. But I think once you start entering low 80ks, I think that might be worth a punt. I mean, if we don't, the thing is, if you don't bounce there, it's likely we're coming to now, probably fill in this wick and sweep it. So from my perspective, if we do come into here, I think this is obviously where price should bounce. If not, I'll be not entertaining the market until we've swept this low, and then see what happens, whether we continue down or we sweep that low, maybe trap some people and then reclaim it and then fire it back up then. So that's where I'm looking at. They're the only two possibilities I'm looking at on the long side. Obviously, unless we go lower and then, looking for longs potentially lower then. But in terms of any, longing anywhere around this price action. They're the only two things I'm interested in is, low 80Ks or a swing fail of the current low. What's everyone else's thoughts? What's everyone thinking? It's going to be interesting, and we should get a nice volatile open, I think. This might be the most volatile open we've watched on stream, potentially. You've got NQ there, NQ futures down. I was looking for this, potentially, but it didn't quite get there. It didn't quite get there, so I don't really look at NQ, to be honest, too much. NASDAQ. I don't really look at it too much. I mostly just follow S&P, but yeah, we'll see. Nice little. That's still open on Stonksy as well. That 4-hour short. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin anyway. The only two possibilities I'm open to at the moment in terms of long side. And there's a good chance we get this today, isn't there? Now the question is it too soon? But what do you mean by swing fail of the low? So a swing failure pattern. So a swing failure pattern is where price comes in to a low. I'm trying to find a good example on the chart that's quite clear. So where pretty much where price comes into a low and then it sweeps it, but then closes back above. So let me go and find. There's probably one on the daily. So this is a swing failure pattern here. So as you can see, we got this low here. Oh, you got this low here. Actually, that's not the best. It's not the best because it was the day after. Yeah, well, these are swing failure patterns here. So obviously we had the initial low here. A swing failure pattern is where price comes in, sweeps the low of the wick like it did here and here, but then holds above for the close. So it swings, swings lower or higher, but then fails to close below / above that wick. So as you can see here, price come in, sweat, but then closed above the low point of this wick here. You'll probably be able to find some decent ones to the upside as well. But yeah, that is what. Yeah, it's a swing failure pattern. What's the current Bitcoin bottom? 76, 77 worst case. No, I mean the worst case could be anything, couldn't it? If you're asking worst case, the worst case is what? It just completely falls apart and we go back to 60Ks, 50 even. Worst case scenario is a lot lower, isn't it? The worst case scenario, if price was to respect this current range that we're forming here, would be a swing failure of this, yeah. So if price was to stay around these levels, wedged between obviously the range that we've got below and then the range above, if price was to stay in here, then the worst case scenario is we come down here, maybe swing fail this, or maybe we don't even get there and price stays around here, yeah. I mean, obviously, didn't mean to do that. If you're asking worst case scenario, is we start entertaining anything back in here, isn't it? Is worst case scenario. And even then, that's not the worst case. The worst case scenario is just complete price collapse, isn't it? But I don't think that happens. I think, even worst case, we probably pull in. This would be like max pain, like S&P just continuing to nuke and nuke and nuke and nuke, and just fear just completely consuming the market. Will be a pull into here somewhere. Should probably shake people out and then carry on. I do expect a bounce at some point. But anything is possible. It can always get worse. But I don't think it gets that much worse. But you never know. So that's where we're up to. Bitcoin is absolutely nuking. Oh, how I wish I was short. Hi, Florin. How are you? Great to see you. Make sure everyone does drop a like on the stream, please. Drop that like button. Make sure you vote in the poll. And if you're new here, please do subscribe. But yeah, we are absolutely nuking down. Now, a good time to go and look is at ETH, because ETH is about to come and test this low now, actually. So we're approaching a really key point on ETH now. We are approaching the March low. Now, ETH, I think. So my prediction is that, and it's only a prediction, is that the ETH bottom comes somewhere in here. Let me change this. So my prediction is that the ETH bottom potentially comes in somewhere here. Now, where that is, obviously I do not have a crystal ball, but ETH looks absolutely awful, doesn't it? Alongside a lot of other altcoins. So it looks like at the moment we're definitely going to come and test this low, but if Bitcoin keeps nuking down, we are probably going to fall below 1700s, aren't we? And I think the thing is, if it doesn't settle a bottom in here, then, you would say probably we're coming back into here, aren't we? You'd say we're probably coming back into here. Oh, let me get rid of this. Maybe somewhere in there, testing the origin of this rally, or it will get pretty bleak pretty fast. So, yeah, ETH, I do think maybe there's, I would say there's a chance. Obviously, like I said before, it can always get worse. But there's a chance that we form a bottom anywhere in this range. Now, it's a wide range, it's not, I wouldn't say I'm saying anything absolutely absolutely amazing there. That's in an 11% range, but if we do form a high time frame bottom in there, then the upside potentially is great. But it looks like we're going to come in now and we're about to test this low on ETH. You wouldn't give it much chance of holding, would you? Continuing to fall through on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is going to come in. It looks like potentially we need to get ready for any opportunity we're going to get. 78k, here we come. 30x short. Nice, mate. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think... it's aggressively falling now, isn't it? This is aggressive. The S&P is just going to nuke it. You would imagine it's going to nuke on open because it's going to be fiat. Now, the thing is, what you want to do is... Now, this is obviously just my opinion. But you don't want to let yourself get consumed by fear here. You don't want, in my opinion, you don't want to let yourself get consumed by fear because you will lead to potentially missing opportunities. Now, for those of you that maybe didn't trade around this time, or, maybe you wasn't in crypto around this time, or whatever it is, back in 2022, we obviously saw peak inflation for the US, during obviously recent time when it hit 9%. Now, what happened is when we got the build up into peak inflation, the market then started to soak it up. And I remember very, very vividly the day that we got the CPI print of 9%, the market dropped aggressively and then started to rally all throughout the summer because obviously the market was pricing in, the markets are forward looking, the market was pricing in that inflation would ease up. So what you don't want to do is let the market consume you and sort of you just freeze and potentially miss out on opportunity. Obviously, at some point, whether it be this week or whenever, tariff fear will subside in terms of how it impacts the market. And then that will be replaced then by the markets becoming forward-looking and potentially going, okay, well, how are things going to be, in 3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be. And then a lot of people obviously will just be too scared to maybe buy the opportunity or whatever. But at some point, yeah, we will reach kind of like peak fear and peak downside for into anything to do with tariffs. Maybe we're just not there yet. I don't know. 76,500. Here we come. Reggie, man, my guy, what's going on? To be honest, I'm looking to start maybe building longs at 80k and then maybe just add downwards. These two are my levels for longs. So anything into here. Ooh, probably should draw that better. Anything into here, I'd be interested. And then obviously if that doesn't work out, then I'd probably be waiting for a swing fail of the March low. That's if we get there. You know, that's if we get there. But we do need to come a little bit lower. But, I mean, hopefully, what I'm hoping is that the US Open is just a bloodbath and absolute just liquidation and just kind of peak selling. And then maybe we look to reverse it. But I tell you what looks awful is Sol, isn't it? Look at Sol. So, obviously, Sol is now really starting to lose. I mean, it's mainly lost, hasn't it? This high time frame support level. We're now coming into where it's bounced previously, obviously here, and then back in March around this 112 level. If we fall below there, you know, the logical next place would be here, which also lines up, obviously, with where it held and then bang, you know, obviously extension then to the upside, which, you know, falls also in line with it being a nice round number of $100. And then obviously if that doesn't hold, then we've got this 70 to 80k, $70 to $80. But I think something like this, you know, we would have to have significant more downside on Bitcoin. So I don't think Sol's just going to drift down here on its own. We would have to probably see Bitcoin go to like low 70s for this to happen. If Bitcoin drops maybe another couple K, maybe we see $100. Unless alts just keep bleeding against Bitcoin. Tell you what is another one, XRP. XRP is now, again, now you don't want to get trapped here. If you're not already short, so, you know, maybe if you're short from up here or wherever, obviously, you know, you've got a lot of room, haven't you, to ride it to the downside. And look, Stonksy's closed its green background as well, which is interesting, which it rolled up all from, you know, the start of the move. But you don't want to get trapped in something like this. Obviously, we've seen this on XRP a good few times now where it's dipped below, but then obviously for the daily close, it's held and just created a, you know, a long lower wick. But if we do get acceleration to the downside, it's probably going to be aggressive. You still out the market, mate? In terms of spot holding, yeah. In terms of spot holding, yeah, just actively trading Bitcoin. And I think, to be honest, maybe alts are going to start coming really interesting soon, I think. Because, you know, it's hard to believe that they're just going to bleed forever, isn't it? Otherwise, there's going to be no industry left. But, you know, your alts like, you know, Link, like, for instance, I'd love a $10 Link to long. Maybe pick some up. Sol, maybe around $100. Have a punt. For maybe, obviously, this is the level that, in my mind, this is the level that everyone wants to buy, isn't it? You know, anywhere between like 75 and 85-ish, you know, in this gap here, right here. So that, in my mind, is where a lot of people are kind of like wanting to buy. Now, does it just stop at a nice round number of $100 and kind of just front runs it and just doesn't give people the entry? We'll have to wait and see. Depends on what Bitcoin does, doesn't it? Now, you got Tau now dropping below. Now, Tau is another one we've covered on stream. Tau, as you can see here, let me just put this in white. So, is that in, that's not in white. Oh, here we go. So, Tau is another one. Now losing its high time frame support level. So, as you can see all along here, held, you know, demand coming in, holding the price up. It's now dropping below. So, again, it's not really got anything to the downside apart from maybe filling in this wick and swing failing it. But, you know, you look on the chart, you would say a pull into, you know, 150, 140-ish would be prime for the taking on Tau. But then is it going to get any... I don't know whether AI is going to become a narrative again and stuff. So will it bounce back as hard as others? The 1 hour Bitcoin just closed. Okay, okay. Are we bullish or not? I'm not so bullish. Not at the moment. I would like the market to drop more. I'd like the market. I mean, another one that looks horrific is Jupiter, isn't it? So you got to be really, really careful with stuff like this. Obviously, went through it on Monday with Justin, and I've said stuff like this on, just on my when it's just me on stream. Jupiter has lost all levels, so something like this looks absolutely trash because there is literally no historical data to go off. We've got this launch candle, and that's it. It's just a bottomless pit. So there's literally nothing to suggest where this stops. It would have to line up kind of with a market, with a market bottom, and then the market building strength for this to kind of create any sort of reasonable argument to, unless you're just DCAing down and you're perfectly happy with taking the risk. The problem is, how low does it go? It could go as low. But now bear in mind, this isn't to scale. So I've not drawn this in terms of where I estimate dupe to bottom. I just drawn it the other day. But what you want to see on something like this is you want to see evidence of a bottom. So you want it to come down into wherever, build a base, which you can then identify as potential accumulation, where obviously whenever it tests the lower end, demand comes in and it holds. And then obviously at some point then you would want to see it, obviously extend to the upside again. But when something's in free fall like this, unless you're like some sort of Jupiter or just Sol ecosystem bull and you just don't mind buying into the abyss, you've got to be really careful with something like this because there literally is no bottom for it until it forms it. So just be really careful with anything like this. There's a few of these as well. I think there's a few on this. I think there's a few on this watch list. I can't think off the top of my head. But there'll be a few of these, kind of like anything that's just not got price history to the left of it. What ones am I looking for here? I'm looking for something. Something like this as well. Pi. I don't know why, unless you're some sort of pie bull for whatever reason, I don't know. But again, something like this, there is literally no bottom on it, is there? Like, this is where it launched. It ran up crazy. I mean, that would have been a great short, wouldn't it? But now it is literally just in price discovery to the downside. So there is literally no bottom on this until it forms it. You just buy in here. Again, Kato, is it trying to kind of hold the bottom of this launch candle? I don't know. But again, I mean, how confident would you be on something like that? So just be really careful on anything like this because you can just end up buying something and then it dips another 20-30% or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty ugly looking, that, isn't it? You'd want to see it. Personally, I would want to see it reclaim this 46, 47 cent region level. Obviously, where it found support to the left, used it as support again here. Before you look at anything bullish on dupe. Unless, again, like I mentioned before, Hype's another one. Here you go, Hype. So Hype is now, again, just completely Hype's another one. Just, obviously we had it find support down around this $12, 30, whatever level you want to call it. And now, again, it's into the launch candle. So where is the bottom for Hype? We don't know. So again, you want to see, whenever the market settles down, you want to see some sort of accumulation built. But Hype's quite volatile, so, would Hype build such a base like that? I don't know. Would it maybe just snap back and then, reclaim a solid level, and then you can go, right, okay, you've now at least got some form of invalidation you can use. Do make sure you all drop a big like on the stream, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you get a vote in on the poll. We've got 35 votes, 71% of you think we go down, and we've got 35 viewers and 14 likes. Come on, guys, let's up those likes. And if you do want to trade anything today, do make sure you click that link in the chat that's pinned. Also, first link in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, the best non-KYC exchange out there. So yeah. Just be careful on anything like this, Hype, Jupiter, stuff like that. There's nothing really to build a thesis around. I'm just gonna have to get a little drink of water. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Meant to turn my camera off while I get a drink. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Where do you think maybe the market settles down? What you maybe got your eye on? Hello, can you explain a little bit how Stonksy works? Sure, I can do that for you. So Stonksy is an all-in-one trading indicator. So the actual indicator itself is made up of a background color change, as you can see on the screen at the moment. That alludes to long and short opportunities in the market. In terms of the indicator itself, it's also got automated SR lines, bullish and bearish arrows, an oscillator, several other working parts to it. Now, when you purchase a Stonksy package, you get everything included, no matter what package. So obviously, it doesn't matter if you're on the monthly plan, the annual, or the lifetime. You get everything included. So you get full indicator access. You also get access to the Discord server, where it's a locked community. So it's only Stonksy users in the Discord server. And we also have our trading bots. So currently, we have 2 trading bots running for users, where they join it on. We run them on BLOFIN, and they take trades automatically for users. So we have a high frequency one, which trades the lower time frames, and then we have a low frequency one, which looks at higher time frame, higher probability plays. So the best of both worlds in terms of them. And we have free reign. We can introduce as many trading bots as we want. If you was in the stream yesterday, or if you wasn't, don't worry, because there'll be a video coming out on it. My good friend Save with Crypto, who we have on the stream every Wednesday, he joined the high frequency one live on stream yesterday to show everyone how to do it. And while we was on stream, he joined the bot, and then the high frequency bot opened along on Bitcoin at 85k, which would have been around here. And then obviously on stream, Bitcoin started ripping, and then he ended up in plus 10% profit by the end of the stream. So fantastic, play by the bot yesterday in catching the move to the upside. So yeah, that's how Stonksy works. And if you do want to try it, for anyone in the, anyone who's watching in the stream, you can get 20% off your first month. So if you go into the description, or I'll put it into the chat now. If you go into the description and click the second link, that'll take you to the Stonksy website. And then if you click start now and come over to the monthly one, if you click this button here, this is if you want to pay in fiat. So, obviously, card payment. It'll take you to create an account. And then if you put code BOT20, so it's BOT20. Again, I put it in the chat, and it's next to the link in the description. That'll take 20% off your first month. So you can come and try Stonksy for 20% off your first month. And even though you're using the discount, you still get access to everything that I've just discussed. If you want to pay in crypto and still get the discount, click this email address, hyperlink here, and just email in, say, hi, I'd like to try the monthly plan. I'd like to use the, BOT20 discount, and I'd like to pay, USDT on Solana, or however it is you want to pay, and we'll sort that out for you. But yeah, come and try it. It's a monthly rolling plan, and yeah, get 20% off your first month, so you can come and give Stonksy a go at 20% off. Do make sure you take advantage of that if you haven't already, because like I said, you get everything included in it, and yeah, you can obviously come and join the trading bots. Link on the 1 hour just got nuked. Yeah, everything's getting nuked, isn't it? Swarms has no price below. Another one that you want to be careful of. Then 80,900 hour long. I think that's a little bit too early. Maybe I'm looking down towards 80k, to be honest. So close to 2k subs. Yeah, we are very close. I think we're around 1.9. So if you haven't already, or if you're one of the people watching on the X broadcast, please do take 2 minutes of your time to go on to the Stonksy YouTube and subscribe. Push me towards that 2k subscriber count. We're very close, slowly working our way towards there. But yeah, bad day for all the markets, isn't it? Bad day for all the markets. Yeah, everything is getting nuked. Obviously, you know, Ton. So Ton's an interesting one because there was a couple different plays I was looking for this. I ideally wanted it to come up there to short it, but it hasn't got there. So that plan looks like it's out the window. However, Ton has come up and just liquidated, obviously, all these wicks here. Come up and liquidated there and dropped below. Now, Ton never really retraced. This was a news pump that it got here when the founder was released from France and allowed to go back to Dubai. And it never really, you know, news pumps are typically retraced, aren't they? And it never did. It opted to go higher. So I do wonder if Ton's just going to, you know, slowly, steadily drift its way back down. This was a high time frame retest, this. So obviously testing previous resistance as support, which it did. But I do wonder now, you know, is that Ton relief bounce done? And is it maybe going to slowly drift back down towards that 250 level? We'll have to wait and see. We got Dot now. Dot is retesting, as you can see here. You can extend this region a little bit below as well. You know, we can put probably about there. But this is vital for Dot, this region, because this is where it's held, you know, historically. Everywhere that it's come in, this is dating back to 2020, obviously. I don't know whether this was launch or this was maybe just when it listed on Binance. I'm not sure exactly when Dot launched. I don't know whether it listed on Binance on day one or not. Maybe someone in the chat knows. But anyway, obviously come up. This is the Binance chart. So come up. Price came back down. This is obviously where it found settlements, you know, where demand come in. Then we fast forward a year or so. Tested it again, held. Tested it again, held. Again. So it really doesn't want to lose around this level. Otherwise, you start going then, okay, well, there's nothing here. You have to go back down towards, you know, $3 sub to look for anything, which would, again, you know, be another 10, 20, 30% drop potentially on something like that. In the worst case scenario, you know, So we're getting continuation on Bitcoin to the downside now. Again, I think this might be just people eager to long it. So as you can see here, we had obviously super aggressive drop to the downside. People will have longed this. Obviously, we got a dead cat bounce and then it's rolled over. So it's obviously coming now, taking stops in liquidity from below last night's low. And I imagine maybe people are continuously trying to long this, just providing fuel to the downside, obviously, as it keeps running stops. So we want to maybe see just a full lick run of, I'm interested in maybe if we liquidate this low and hold around 80k. If not, like I mentioned before, I'd want to see a swing failure of this. And they're the really only two possibilities I'm looking at if price is going to stay around this range. If not, obviously, if we continue falling, we're going to come down into low 70s, maybe even into the 60s again. But we'll have to wait and see. Just, you know, we'll take it one step at a time. Something else that's been absolutely nuked is the DXY. For those of you that wasn't in the stream at the start, we are now back to the lows of the 3-year range that DXY has been in. Obviously came up in here in mid 2022 and around, you know, anywhere around this $100 up to, you know, 101-ish is where the DXY's held support. We're now coming back in to retest that. Is this range potentially exhausted now and it's ready to explore lower? We'll have to wait and see. But again, it's another one that's just on the path to the downside. But yeah, do make sure you drop a big thumbs up on the stream if you haven't already. And subscribe. It is very much appreciated. Right, we got ETH. So ETH has actually now ran the March low. So ETH has ran the March low now. So we're either going to see one or two things from here. ETH Bitcoin making another low. We're now going to either see one or two things. We're going to see potentially a bit of strength come in ETH, where it's going to hold this for a swing failure. Or if Bitcoin continues down and ETH finds no strength, we're going to start coming into low 1700s, maybe even pop into the 1600s. But I think, depending on obviously how Bitcoin behaves, I think this potentially, like I mentioned before, is the area where ETH maybe forms a bottom. Again, very, very loose on the word maybe, because we just, you don't know with something like ETH that's not really providing any strength, do we? So the S&P, it's, you don't really want to call that a bounce, do you? But it's going to be interesting to see what happens at market open. Let's go and check the Mag 7 again. So we've got, Nvidia down to 103, just below 104 pre-market. Apple down to 206. Meta down to 551. Big drop on all of these. Microsoft down to 371. Amazon down to 182. Tesla down to 265. And Google down to 150. We also have the MAGS ETF, which is obviously the combined, magnificent 7, which is down to 44.48 pre-market. Back down towards last week's lows. Or this week. Yeah, Monday's lows, sorry. Let me know in the chat, though. Obviously, I know we've had a few people share their ideas. What's your overall feeling? What do you think we're going to get next? Do you think this carnage is maybe coming to an end and the markets are going to maybe start looking forward to the next thing? What are you feeling deep inside? What's the burning feeling? But yeah, there's not really. We could have a look through. Maybe we go and just have a look on the daily charts of some of these altcoins. So obviously got Doge with a bit of room to come back in. I think this is a key, potentially a key point for Doge. You'd maybe fancy that it would hold here. If it doesn't, obviously it's in real trouble, isn't it? Got ADA. Again, and it's still got a little bit of room to go. Now you can see ADA, can't you? ADA's kind of like the same as XRP. If you look at the structure on it, especially from the run up, ADA's already come down and has tested this interruption a couple of times. Where if you look at XRP, it's really yet to come down and start testing this from the run up. So it's got potentially a steep drop to come. But again, something like ADA, we still could have more downside to come, potentially. Got TRX, which is kind of like a mover on its own in the market, isn't it? Oh, why has that gone down there? Link. So Link has been pretty good, actually, at respecting my levels. As you can see here, we come up towards this $15.50 level that I had outlined. I wanted it to come up into here, this kind of $17.50 region, to provide a short, but obviously didn't get there. So we're now testing the lower side one, which is just above this, $12.40-ish. I think if we fall below there, we're going to come down and retest $10. AVAX is another one. All these, looking kind of similar, aren't they? SUI, there's definitely room to go to the downside, potentially. XLM, again, is another one, isn't it, of one of these that's still chugging away. It's still got room to go. It's just very slowly distributing down, isn't it? But I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see XLM come in and really start pushing towards the last of this retracement. Litecoin is now looking like it's dropping, maybe going to be tested below $80. Tom we looked at before, H-bar, height we looked at before, dot we looked at before. Ondo's an interesting one. So the last time we looked at Ondo, obviously I was explaining the importance of this box, which looks like, I don't know when we last looked at Ondo, whether we got this, I can't remember. But potentially, yeah, I mean, holding and around here, or maybe we drop lower. Tau we've looked at, are they really working on retracing that whole pump, isn't it? Yeah, look at Polygon. Look at formerly Matic. Back down to 18 cents. When was it last at that? Let's go and have a look. Can we get the Matic? Can we get Matic up? How do we get the Matic price history? I want to see when. Can we view Matic? Yeah, we can. Nope. Can we? No. Okay. I don't know how to do it. I wonder when the last time... It must be a couple of years ago. Must be a couple of years ago. Duke we covered. Filecoin. Yeah, it doesn't look too good, does it? Really starting to drop below these last historical key levels. ARB. Blimey. Again, I see this is the danger, isn't it, in stuff like this? So when I've been talking about dupe and stuff like that, and hype, obviously we had ARB. This was the launch candle here. And as you can see, obviously it's, it's gone through the motions with the cycle, hasn't it? So, this has had an impact. But as you can see, when it's dropped below the point of no price history, it's just kept dropping. So here, when it formed this low, when it come back to retest it, it held at first. But then it just kept dropping lower and lower and lower again. Back up here, created this low. Came back, retested it, held at first. But then it's just been creating, new lows, new lows, new lows. And you can see, obviously, that is well filled in the launch candle now and well below. So, for something like ARB, again, is another one. Where does it bottom? There's no historical place where you can pinpoint and go, that looks like a place where, demand would come in or wherever. So, yeah, not looking too good on stuff like that. That is entering just new. I mean, Inge. Does everyone remember Inge? That thing is just distributed down constantly, hasn't it? You've had the huge run up. Peak, obviously, correction. Then you've had your complacency bounce into here, and then just correction again. However, it seems as though this is coming into potentially. Obviously, I must have had this outlined for a while. This $7 to $8 region, but again, I mean, how confident would you be in stuff like in something like that? Maybe it would come down lower. Who knows? Shorting after being away from crypto a while, but seeing my track record, possible pump, says Rab. And can you send money directly to you? In terms of what, Jonathan? What do you mean, send money directly to me? If you're on about the bot, no, we grant you access on your BLOFIN account. So if you're on about the bot, no, we'll give you'll give us your BLOFIN user ID. We'll then whitelist you for the trading bots, and then you'll follow it on copy trade. If you're on about signing up, like Rab's just said, yeah, you can, like I went through before, you can sign up on the website if you want to pay with card. So you'll come on, if you want to, obviously it depends what package you want. If you want to try the monthly with the 20% discount, then you have to choose the monthly one. But if you just want to buy the annual or maybe even lifetime, it's up to you. If you want to pay with card anyway, and you're on about the bot discount, yeah, you'll come on the website, click start now, and then select this button here. That will take you through to creating an account and paying with fiat, and then you'll put the code BOT20 in the discount box on checkout. If you want to pay with crypto and still receive the discount, click this email address, hyperlink here, and just say, hi, I want to try the monthly, I want to use the bot 20 discount, and I want to pay whatever asset on what network it is. We've got 10 minutes until US Open now. Say is coming into potentially key zone. I think this was the zone that Justin covered on stream on Monday. This kind of 13 to 14 / $15 region. This would take it to an 80% drop if it gets the if. But again, you know, something like Say will have had a huge correction. So we'll have to wait and see. E-Gold. Oh, yeah. So E-Gold we covered in the past in the streams. And as you can see, it's now coming into, looking like it's going to come into where I've covered previously. So obviously, I discussed it had this in a, you know, this gap to fill in here where there was no price build. It was just one straight line up. So there was nothing, you know, it's just a void. So it's now approaching that first potentially zone of interest. If if you've got any interest in buying or long in E-Gold, this $12 to $14 region here. If not, you've got this $7 to $9 region here. And as you can see, all you have to do is go to the left on the chart to see why. You've got this interruption in price here. And then obviously this is where it built a base before it went on its huge rally. So one of the two. Yeah, I think. Did anyone see this yesterday? Did anyone see this? So this Newsmax IPO'd on Wednesday. No, sorry, Monday. So this Newsmax IPO'd on Monday. Absolutely rallied up for 2 days straight. You know, came out the traps at, what was that? What's that, about $14? On Monday went to 81. And then obviously gapped up massively. And then went to 260 odd on Tuesday. Dropped down massively and gapped back down on Wednesday. And then it's just been plummeting. This got put on a breaker yesterday. So it got put on a circuit breaker because it was getting hit that hard. And obviously closed yesterday down 77%. This is a stock, by the way. This is not even like a meme coin or anything. This is a stock. Now, if you are holding anything, really, I'll tell you what's interesting. For those, maybe interested or trade FX, the pound is coming back into a key place. So in terms of a really, really high time frame range, you've got this kind of like 119 to sort of like 122, where, as you can see here, this is on the weekly chart. The pound bar, obviously this dropped down here, and then this was when Liz Truss and a chancellor just absolutely killed the pound. Prices respected this demand zone and obviously bounced. The higher time frame obviously is up towards 140, but as you can see here, price rounded off there, rejected there at first, and then come back, and then again went back to resistance, flipped to support, again fell through, again bang here. So it's coming back into this key zone where, this kind of 132 to 133 kind of level. If it gets above, then potentially the pound's riding up to 140, 142, maybe even higher. If it gets above that, then, the pound's back to the glory days, isn't it? Going back to overtake America. But the reason I'm mentioning this is not even to trade Forex. Obviously, mostly in crypto, we work in dollars, don't we? So stable coins are pegged in dollars and stuff like that. So whatever it is that your native currency is against, so whether it be pound, euro, whatever, you could maybe potentially, you're going to take a hit, aren't you, if you're going to be swapping stables back into fiat. Or maybe you'll look to, I don't know, swap some fiat into stables to get the conversion, whatever. But we are dropping lower again on Bitcoin now. Got 5 minutes until open. Now, and again, this is probably where people just keep longing. People trying to long. Stonksy's still red, and again, you know, you get the bullet, you get the red opening with the bearish arrow, and that is a superb combination. Let's go. Yeah, let's go now. How we doing? How we doing now? Great to see you. Yeah, I've got it outlined. So for this trade, yeah, I'd be tempted to maybe take something like this, but we'll have to wait and see if we get there or not. Right, I'm gonna get a quick drink. Rab says down. I'm hyper, mate. Are you short? Did you catch a nice short yesterday or something? We've got 30 people watching on YouTube. Please do make sure you drop a like if you haven't already or you just joined. And if you're new, do subscribe. If you're looking to trade anything today, do click that first link in the description, or it is pinned in the chat, or I'm going to put it in the chat again now. Do make sure you click it. Sign up to BLOFIN on the Stonksy link. You get yourself some nice welcome bonuses. And it is non-KYC as well. So you just sign up with an email. Tell you what, while we've got a minute, well, we've got 3 minutes until US Open. I'm going to run the toilet really quickly. And then, so I'll just get the setup ready. Hang on. Let me get the setup ready. Oh, that 2-minute chart looked really nice then. I've never really looked at the 2-minute chart. Maybe we'll leave it on the 5-minute. I like the 5-minute. Let me get it set up with SPX. Put that on the 5-minute. Right. There we go. Right. I'm just going to run the toilet really quickly before we get US Open. I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back. Got 2 minutes until open. So, yeah, let's get ready to rumble, shall we? Got the S&P giving a little giga candle going into open. Okay, I just give it a try. Stonksy says red, so let's find out. Well, it's already been red for a while, hasn't it? So it's already been red since 83,300. So it's already captured a lot of the move potentially. So you don't want to be entering, just like any trade, you know, if something bounces off support and then it bounces, you know, a decent bit, you don't want to then be entering there, do you? You want to be entering at the prime spot. Same for Stonksy, you know, you don't want to be, after it's already made the move, especially on the 5 minute low time frame, you don't want to be entering a short down here, in my opinion. You want to be entering it close to where it goes. I haven't, no. Right, there we go, we're open. I think I was a little bit late then because I was reading something. But let's see what we get. We're getting a little bounce, it looks like, on open. Oh, look at this. Nvidia down nearly 6%. Apple down 8%. Meta down 6.5%. Microsoft down 1.2%. Amazon down 6.6%. Tesla down 5%. Google down 3.3%. Big hits on them. Big hits. It looks like it's trying to give a little bit of a bounce, though, doesn't it? On open, it looks like. Now, I mean, do you really trust any sort of pump on this on open? Smash the likes for Bell. Yeah, do make sure everyone drops a like on the stream, please. Told you, pump now reverse as usual. Yeah. I mean, thing is, it's never gonna go down in one straight line forever, is it? Just like it goes up, you go up, then you come back down, and then you go up higher, and then you come back down, and then you go up higher. We'll have to see what happens. But I think, naturally you're going to have people buying the dip and stuff like that, aren't you? On US Open. Down. Let's see what happens. It wouldn't surprise me for it to get a bounce and then tail off potentially again. I mean, the question is, was it max fear yesterday? That's the thing, innit? Was it? Have we approached max fear, maybe? But it wouldn't surprise me if it did something like this as well. It wouldn't surprise me if it did something like that. We are getting a jolly old push on the S&P, though, aren't we? In terms of low time frame PA. So ETH is obviously bouncing alongside Bitcoin after liquidating the March low. XRP is everything's pretty much on a day like this. We're going to get just follow on from Bitcoin, aren't we? You see, everything's probably got the exact same pattern. Literally the exact same pattern on everything. Just think some things may bounce harder than others. But pretty much everything is just going to follow Bitcoin. Look, the exact same pattern on absolutely everything that we look at. Oh, yeah, giga squeeze on Bitcoin. Let's go and have a look at the 1 hour. Okay. The tariffs aren't actually in place yet, though. Doesn't really matter in terms of the markets because markets are forward-looking, aren't they? Markets are forward. You got to remember, markets are forward-looking. So even though the tariffs aren't in place yet, it doesn't matter because markets move ahead of time. So the markets will have been, obviously, we've had downtrend on specifically on the S&P and the Mag 7, haven't we? You know, for the past couple of weeks, markets price things in much ahead of time. So it's not like the tariffs would come in place on the 9th and then suddenly the market collapses. If anything, it would probably be the opposite. The tariffs would come in and everyone would expect a drop and then just nothing would happen or the markets would pump. Good afternoon, legends. This time I'm late for the super streaming. Hope I didn't miss anything. Hello, Gold Sniper. How are we doing, my friend? Great to see you. Thank you very much for joining the stream. Yes, the 25%, but the 10% start on the 5th. Again, the thing now is, now that it's done, you want to kind of maybe, now this is a maybe, be looking for that, last like sort of liquidation event. Because you'll have max fear, you'll have people not wanting to buy. But like I mentioned before, markets are forward looking. So now we've had, the actual reveal of the tariffs and stuff like that. What will the markets potentially start looking forward to? Well, to my mind, if we're going to get some upside, the markets maybe start looking forward to countries cutting their tariffs. So then the US cuts their tariffs. So that's potentially one bullish sign over, maybe the next few weeks, maybe month, 2 months, whatever. Is okay, maybe we're at max fear, or maybe we've not got there yet. Maybe we've got, one more drop down to go or something like that. But I would say in terms of tariffs, we're potentially at max fear and, uncertainty, not so much, because now we've obviously had the, the Liberation Day. But now the markets will start looking forward instead of, the next couple of days and stuff like that. So what's potentially a bullish case forward looking is countries revoking their tariffs, removing their tariffs, lowering their tariffs to be in, so that the US lower theirs, stuff like that. Jonathan says, I'm 0.13% in profit on a short. Where did you enter? Where have you entered a short, Jonathan? Let's go and see what stocks are doing. So yeah, big old gap on Nvidia. Apple. Be interesting to see if they create more downside or maybe move to close some of these gaps. Tesla's working towards closing that gap. Google. Does everything maybe get bought back up? We'll have to see. Is it dropping? It's dropped a little bit from open. So if you want the 1 minute chart, we've got a pump up straight away on open for the first 3 minutes, and then we've dropped off, and then it's trying to pump up a little bit. I don't know. I don't trust it. But, there is always the bullish case, isn't there? I mean, imagine if the S&P just starts rallying throughout the day now. If that does that, then Bitcoin is going to follow. So you just need to really be careful. You need to be just looking at all things and calculating, maybe what happens in what scenario. I was personally hoping for a drop down into 5395 on the S&P. That was kind of my level where I would have been looking for a reversal. But it seems like maybe it's going to try and front run it, or this is a short-term bounce. Maybe after the first 20 minutes, half an hour, we drop back down. Let's see. It is pushing up, though. It is pushing up. And again, like I mentioned before, everything has got the same pattern. You'll go on altcoins now and they'll all have very, very similar sort of patterns. So, obviously, we've looked at the daily charts and stuff like that, but low time frame, there's almost no point in looking at them because they're all the same pattern. They're all following Bitcoin's pattern. Look at them. Apart from OM, but that's an outlier in itself. All following the same pattern. Yeah, it is pumping up. It's pumping up. So that is the first 10-minute candle put in. That's the first 10-minute candle put in of the session. Let's go and have a look at the 1 minute, shall we? 1 minute looks fun. I need another drink. Right. Okay. Okay. Should we go and have a look at some liquidity heat map? Let's see what we've got on Bitcoin 24 hour. So we've had, obviously it came down and liquidated that there, but upon Bitcoin pushing up on US Open, we've had a bit more, so a bit more of a cluster open to the downside. 3-day liquidity, we swiped it to the upside yesterday on the pump, and then we came down and we've taken it to the downside. But again, as you can see, in terms of the 3-day time frame, there's quite a void to the upside, where to the downside we've got another cluster open here, obviously on this pump, but there is liquidity all built up there down towards 80k, even below. Let's have a look at the 2-week. So the 2-week, even with that pump up yesterday, it's not took the biggest amount of liquidity, which is no surprise. As you can see, it come up and took a lot of it, but it didn't do a full sweep, did it? I was looking for a full sweep, which i.e. would have been just to blow completely above, wipe out all the highs, which it didn't do. And then should we look at the 3-month? But again, liquidity to the downside, there's nothing really to the upside. Three-month, obviously stacked both ways. Liquidity stacked both ways. Crazy. Why is it Thursday? Why is it? What do you mean? Why is it Thursday? It is Thursday today, yeah. Standard US. Well, I suppose. Yeah, no, it'd be Thursday everywhere in the world, wouldn't it? By now, I think even in kind of like. Oh no, I suppose if you're in Australia, you would be into Friday now. Standard US Open reversal downward. Yeah, I think so. I think that was literally just a short squeeze, wasn't it? That was just a standard short squeeze. I think. Again, could be wrong. But we had, a very steep drop. So, standard just come up, squeeze some shorts, obviously fill in a bit of a fair value gap that it left. And then potentially come back down, maybe even carry on to the downside. Again, you're probably trapping longs as well. People jumping in, thinking that we're going to just full reverse. We are effed. Yeah. It looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like we are gonna. I mean, I would consider 80k just seems reasonable to me. It just looks like it's a bit of just in no man's land at the moment, doesn't it? It's not. It's kind of just back down towards. If we go on, say the 4-hour chart. We've not really done anything, have we? We've not even swept like this week's current low or anything. Even like a potential case would be, if we've come down and swept Monday's low, which is also the weekly low, and then bounced, then you could say, okay, maybe it's just done, obviously, a sweep of the current weekly low. Maybe it's going to bounce, but not even really done anything. Is it 13 hours ahead? What, Australia? I don't know. No idea. So, yeah, the S&P is now falling off. So, again, Bitcoin is just going to follow this. Watch it happen. Looks like, yeah. It looks like the S&P is going to reverse, maybe, this open pump. So, watch what happens to Bitcoin if it does. Is it Bitcoin or Ethereum that will? ETH is really interesting because it's had obviously a decent bounce, but ETH came down has taken out the March low. So ETH has come down and took out the March low and obviously bounced it, after that. And if we look at it, it looks like it's gaining. It's gaining on Bitcoin. Look, very low time frame. This is the 5-minute chart. So it's gaining on Bitcoin. So it's come down, took out the March low and bounced, where, as you can see, Bitcoin has obviously dropped some more after the bounce relative to ETH. So it's quite interesting that it's took out the March low and is showing some low time frame strength. But I think if Bitcoin, drops, another couple percent, whatever, I think I'd expect ETH to come back into here. Now, whereabouts, I don't know. But I think there's a chance that somewhere in this range is where the ETH bottom is. I think. Again, could be wrong. Might not be right. But I think there's a chance that somewhere in this range between 1730-ish and 1530-ish, the ETH bottom is. Would make sense, I think, looking at the chart. But again, maybe not. Maybe not. We'll just have to see. We need Bitcoin to catalyze. I mean, Bitcoin is dropping, but we're getting good strength on ETH BTC, which might tail off. Who knows? Yeah, Bitcoin's dropping back down now. $0.45 in Canberra, Australian Capital Territory. So 10 hours ahead. Okay. If ETH shows strength now, I will be livid. Why is that, Rab? Can someone in Australia tell us what the price is tomorrow, please? Ah, yes. Yeah. Will altcoins? Well, I mean, I suspect it depends. I mean, I think overall, you'd probably expect them to still get hammered, wouldn't you, if Bitcoin is going to drop more? I mean, Sol looks like, bar potentially putting in a swing failure again of the March low, like ETH is trying to do, you'd maybe expect to drop to 100 on Sol as a minimum if Bitcoin's going to show more weakness. Obviously, I think a lot of people have got their eyes on this kind of 75 to 85 kind of region, haven't they? But again, maybe is there too many eyes on that and too many people wanting to buy that, and maybe it bounces at a nice round number. Obviously, we'll come back into where it got the spring, didn't it? So, came up, bang, found support, and then bang, went. That was the origin of the second push-up. So I don't know. I think it depends which one you look at. I mean, you look at something like XRP, and it has just got so much room to fill into the downside. It hasn't even begun its retracement, really, has it? It's not even broke out of its range. So something like XRP has potentially got, you know, a 50% drop in it because it's not even begun really to distribute down yet. Where you look at something, you know, maybe like Link, you know, you would imagine towards this $10 region, it would have strong demand down there. AVAX. I think, yeah, it just depends what altcoins we're looking at. I think, well, overall, they're not very strong at all, are they? But if he finds a bottom, then maybe they'd have a couple of decent weeks / months ahead of them. I think the market kind of seems like it doesn't know what to do. It can't make up its mind. Let's see what these Mag 7 stocks are doing. So we kind of want to see Max Fear come in now. We want to see like really big and proper liquidation. This would be the day to do it. While they're already down as they are, this would be a day to have a proper liquidation event and just completely just rinse the market. And then, you know, maybe put then some form of bottoming. But Bitcoin is. Gotta run. Oh, thank you for joining, Stella. I appreciate it. Appreciate you joining. Is Chainlink is it all? But ETH is terrible. ETH, yeah, ETH has been terrible for a while. Can Solana? What show strength or put a bottom in or something? I mean, yeah, they potentially could do, couldn't they? You know, maybe, you know, I think at some point we've got to see. Well, we don't have to, but you would imagine at some point, Bitcoin will put a bottom in. Now, wherever that is, we don't know. But you would imagine at some point it will put a bottom in. So, I mean, yeah, at some point, you know, even if Bitcoin's going down, you would imagine we'll start performing better than it and holding its value more, which then would probably free up a lot of breathing room for altcoins, wouldn't it? But I don't know whether that time is now or not. That's why I was out of crypto for a while, says Rab. Thing is, regardless of what's been happening, Bitcoin has had some great volatility to trade. I mean, if you look at the actual moves that we've had over, you know, obviously since putting this low in here, even that was a swing fail, wasn't it? So, you know, that would have been a good trade to get into. But we have had good volatility, obviously, as it was creating these higher highs and higher lows in this kind of upwards channel that we have had. We have had good runs. It's not like it's been going sideways and really boring. Like, if you remember this bit, this was really boring, wasn't it? This was just sideways for like, was it like, yeah, it was like nearly, it was about 3 weeks, wasn't it, in the end? I think this one. And yeah, you know, we did get some moves, like, but it wasn't like anything exciting or major, was it? Where this one, you know, we've had some really volatile moves inside, you know, this period since about a month ago. So Bitcoin itself has been really good for trading if you've been searching for volatility and stuff. And then obviously alongside that, you get the market mover, don't you? Look at huge loads of potential. Tell me about it. It's been incredible. Why do you sound like a bot? Why do you sound like a bot when you're asking these questions? I don't know if you're being serious or not. Like it sounds like you've been overtaken by like a bot. A bot has overtook your account. Tell you about it. It's been incredible. Or did you mean it in the context of when you say to someone, "Yeah, tell me about it"? It's been really good. Maybe you meant it like that. I don't know. Or if you mean to actually tell you about it. I don't... I think he's drunk in Thailand. I don't know about that. Like, I don't know about that. But but yeah, the Bitcoin volatility has been really good. And Stonksy has been hitting some mega trades, you know, some really mega trades. Yesterday's one on stream was absolutely fantastic. So, again, for anyone who wasn't on stream when I mentioned it, we had Say With Crypto again on yesterday because he's on every Wednesday. And he went through the process of joining the high frequency trading bot that we run, obviously through Stonksy on BLOFIN. And he joined it on stream, showed everyone how to do it, set up the settings and stuff like that. And then the Stonksy bot opened a trade on stream. And by the time he came to, you know, to be going off stream, he was 10% up P&L. So yeah, it was a really good advertisement for Stonksy bot yesterday. And the performance on it was great because it obviously captured the big move that we got yesterday. So there will be a tweet going out as well that I'll tell you about, one of the users in Discord, because I'm going to be putting it out on the Twitter once I've got our guy to blur it. But one of the guys, he's following the high frequency bot, which is the one that takes more trades, and he's been using the traditional settings on it. And obviously off the entry yesterday, so the entry was $85,008, and he closed it. The bot closed it at 87,626, which got him 30% ROI and $518. So that is about 3 months worth of Stonksy sub in one trade yesterday. Within, I think, what was it? Within about an hour or two. So that'll be tweeted out. Keep an eye out on the Stonksy Twitter. That'll be tweeted out, and you can have a proper look at it and stuff like that. But yeah, that was just one guy, one of the users that obviously follows the bot. So yeah, super performance. It's the spanner. No, it's not. It's not. The spanner means that he's a mod. The spanner means he's a mod. Is it Bitcoin? It is Bitcoin, yes. It is. This is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. So we're getting now drop back down on the S&P, as you can see here. This is where... Well, this was the 5 minutes before the market open. This was on market open. But we're now starting to drop back down. So it's looking like a little fake out in the first half an hour, which should, in theory, see Bitcoin start dropping back down towards these lows, maybe even lower. What if Ethereum does too? If Ethereum starts dropping lower, I think it's going to drop into this. Well, I think it's going to drop into this range and start trading in here again. So as you can see here, this was previously a trading range for Ethereum between these two white levels. I think if Ethereum, obviously, you know, catalyzed by Bitcoin, if we get a drop, I think Ethereum's going to pop into here. Now, how deep into this range it goes is obviously to be seen. I don't have a crystal ball. But I think it will pop in here. And I think, you know, unless Bitcoin absolutely, you know, the arse falls out of it and it goes to mid-60s, you know, even 50K, whatever, I think there's a strong chance that Ethereum forms its high time frame bottom in here. Now, you know, that could be obviously up towards, you know, 1650. It could be as low towards 1600. Just have to see what happens. But I think there's a chance that it's formed in here somewhere. But it is curving up. You know, it's trying to hold upside, isn't it? The same for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's trying to hold upside. We just want it to rip the plaster off, don't we? And just rip the plaster off and just come and sweep some proper liquidity. Can Meta? Meta's dropping quite significantly. Just tell it to pump. I need a pump. TMG still can't keep away from Stonksy even when sipping cocktails by the pool. Stonksy forever. Stonksy is life, isn't it? Stonksy is life. Meta. So Meta's currently down 7%. Yeah. Meta's currently down 7%. Now, can it, will it could close this gap? Will it close it today? I have no idea. But, got Apple down 9% now. I think Nvidia is launching a little bit to the upside. So, yeah. We'll see. Obviously, all these now, the whole Mag 7, obviously even, the Mags ETF as well, have all got big gaps now being created by today's open. So whether they get more downside and then maybe they launch a bid to close them next week or whenever, we'll have to see. Stonksy is almost better than cheese and cheese is life. What's your favourite cheese? What's your favourite cheese? For anyone wanting to get Stonksy, you obviously get full indicator access on TradingView. You also get access to the closed Discord. So it's a private Discord only for Stonksy users. And of course, you get whitelisted for the trading bots. Currently running 2 on BLOFIN, high frequency one and the low frequency one. So you get all that part of the package. You can use code BOT20 for 20% off your first month. And you will find the link in the description alongside the discount code. Do make sure you come and sign up. But yeah, we are looking like we're tailing off on Bitcoin again. Very interesting. Right. How many have we got in? Got 38 people in the stream. Wow. Thank you very much for everyone who's joined. If you have joined a little later on, oh yeah, look at that. We're up to 24 likes now. Right. For anyone who's just joined or joined recently and you haven't liked, please do drop a like. We're getting close to parity here. We're getting close to parity. There you go, 25. Another 12 here that I haven't liked, if there's 12 in. Get us to 30. Another 5 people can surely like this stream. Come and get us to 30 likes. There you go. 26. Come on. Come on. 26. Get us to 30. Right. So the S&P is tailing off now. Now, I want this level here. 5394 or roundabouts. I think if we get this, so that would be another 1.2% drop on Bitcoin. Now, why do I want that level? 1.2% drop on the S&P. It would line up, obviously, where price found support down here before we got the extension to the upside. Could also come into here, potentially. I think anywhere around the sort of 1,250 up to 1,300, maybe a bit higher level is all right. But I think this level is tasty, and that might be where Bitcoin finds a bottom too. And it is looking like maybe we're going to explore that to the downside. So we'll have to see. Come on. Come on. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. A little bit more. A little bit more. Get into there. Get into it. $40 people watching on YouTube. Wow. Do make sure if anyone's looking to trade anything today, you do click the first link in the description, or I'll put it in the chat now. Sign up to BLOFIN. It's the exchange we recommend at Stonksy. Non-KYC, so you sign up with just an email. You can use it from anywhere in the world. And all funds are 100% tracked on chain and safe, yeah. You can find a big list of reasons why BLOFIN is a great exchange for you to trade on, whether it be futures, trading spot, or if you just want to hold some funds on there for a day, like today, if you want to buy the dip, whatever. But if you want to pause the stream or go onto the Stonksy website and click exchange, big whole list of reasons why BLOFIN's an excellent choice for you to trade on. Big one, obviously, non-KYC, and you can use it worldwide with a VPN. So do make sure you sign up. You sound like you're telling someone how to park. Is that so? I always got taught when you was reversing around a corner. What was it? I think you'd want to see the corner of it in in the passenger side mirror. When you was parallel parking, you wanted to pull up next to the wing mirror of the car in front, and then full tilt towards the space, and then back the other way when you could see the curb or something like that. Where's your accent from? Says anti-social media. Around somewhere. It's from a special place. You are the algorithm for Bitcoin Live. If it keeps going up down a bit, yeah, for sure. We've got 38 viewers. Let's see how many likes are up. How many likes are we up? 28. There we go. Two more. Come on. 2 more. Come on now. There's got to be 2 people that are watching this that haven't liked. Now let's close this. Actually, I forgot to close the poll. Got to be 2 of you that haven't liked the stream. Get us to 30, and I'd be pretty happy with that. I'd be satisfied with 30. Bean Scout, do you learn how to hotwire a car in the theory test? No, I don't. Would have been quite useful to at some point learn how to siphon out fuel out of a car, though, because someone that I know got a new car this week and they just put a full tank of fuel in. So I was saying to them, well, what you want to do is before you give your car back and pick up your new one, you want to siphon out that fuel out the car and put it in a jerry can. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just the laws of gravity, innit? You want to put a hose down there, and then you want the other end of the hose to be below the fuel tank, and then gravity does the work. But you don't really want to be sucking on it because you don't want to get petrol in your mouth, do you? So there must be a better way. I remember when someone asked if you were a Geordie. There was a guy that used to come into the stream all the time. And I think he used to watch on Twitter. He always used to call me Irish. He'd always call me Irish. And I'd say to him, not Irish, but whatever. It's just refused to believe that I wasn't Irish. Scouse or Wirral. Do you know what? I'm not even actually being funny. Neither. I would say neither. And that's honestly the truth. Right, we're getting lower now. We're back below 82k on Bitcoin. The S&P is hitting a daily low. So we are edging lower, aren't we? We're edging lower. We've got round about 1% now to go until we hit my level of interest. Stonksy's still red on the 5 minute on both, which is nice. Oh, yes. Come on, then. Let's go lower. Let's explore lower. Pendle, says Jose. I don't actually know where that is, mate. Pendle. I don't know if I've heard of that before. I remember a long time ago, I used to go LFC games. I missed a game, and a mate went instead in his BMW Z4. The kids tried to nick his sat-nav, but couldn't do it, so they took the whole dashboard. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, that is worth it for the story, isn't it, Reggie, man? That is worth it for the story. I'm listening to this audio only and hearing just a little edging suck on it. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Crypto Bro, you want to see... Well, if you only listen to the audio, you want to see what's on the screen, mate. This is complete... This is complete domination by Bitcoin bears on the price, this. Bears are in full control. Domination. But yeah. Let me know in the chat. Right, I want to know in the chat who's not signed up to Stonksy. Anyone who's watching, you know, whether you're on YouTube or X, who's not signed up to Stonksy, let me know in the chat. Was it the ICT guy? No, it wasn't actually, but I've not seen him in ages. Do you know what, Reggie, man? You've just reminded me. I don't think I've seen him in probably at least a week. So I don't actually know where he is. You just reminded me, yeah. I don't know where he is. We love Dave no matter what gender Dave is. Or you are talking about location. I just got here. We definitely weren't talking about my gender, no. And I identify as a straight male, so where did you get that from, Steve? How did you even think that we were talking about that? So anti-social media says me. So for anyone else, I mean, you know, that's good of you as well, anti-social media, to come in and, you know, pretty much just up front say, I'm not signed up to Stonksy, because a few people might not comment saying that they're not. But for anyone else, you know, in that scenario, you can get 20% off your first month of Stonksy. So if you click the second link in the description, the discount code is actually next to it as well. Bring you to the Stonksy site if you go on Start Now and you come over to the monthly. If you click this button here, that'll take you to paying fiat. So, you know, your debit card, whatever. And you put the code in at checkout and that'll take it down 20% on the monthly plan. And that is obviously a monthly rolling plan. So come and try us for a month at 20% off. You'll see that you want to stay because, like I said before, the bot is absolutely firing out some mega trades. But if you do want to pay in crypto as well, click this hyperlinked email address button. Just say, hi, I want to try the monthly plan. I want to use the bot 20 discount. And just tell us what asset and network you want to pay on and we'll sort that out for you. But yeah, do make sure you come and try us out. Because even though you're using a discount, you do get access to everything. So Indicator, Discord, and obviously the trading bots on BLOFIN. Got his heart broke. Well, apparently he was I'm not subs. Reggie Man, you used to be though, didn't you? You used to be Reggie Man. Apparently that ICT guy, I remember saying he got in trouble, or I think his ex finished him because he was I think he was being a bit naughty or trying to be a bit naughty with her sister. And then he was trying to move on to someone else that he knew, I think. Do you remember the last time he was in the stream, he was asking for like advice on topics that he should say to this woman that he was trying to chat up and stuff. The guy is so funny. Comes in with the maddest stuff on stream. Not trading, F things up, gambling, and won't trade, just hodl. Fair enough, mate, fair enough. Well, big thank you for watching the stream. Appreciate you being here. So the S&P looks like, yeah, it's grinding lower now. Grinding lower. Now, we are taking out yesterday's low during futures hours. But it looks like potentially we're going to start grinding lower. Now, Bitcoin is coming down. We're coming down, down, down. Coming down, down, down. Yeah, great swinger, that ICT. He seems like the type, to be fair, doesn't he? He seems like the type. So you see what ETH's doing. So ETH's coming back down. That period of outperformance seems like it might be over. XRP. This will be really interesting if it fully breaks $2 for like a daily close and starts to head down. You got Sol. Bit of a bleak outlook on Sol, isn't it? I think. BNB, Doge has a potentially a bit more room to go to. I think this zone is kind of interesting on Doge. ADA has definitely more room to go to the downside. TRX kind of doing its own thing. Yeah, everything. I think you look at most things apart from, you know, maybe like your TRX and your BNB, which are known for kind of just doing their own thing in the market most of the time. Everything will kind of be following the same pattern. But hype is going to new lows now. So this is new lows bar, obviously the launch candle, which doesn't really count. Hype's going to new lows. I'm interested to see what's happening to Dupe. So yeah, Dupe is just drifting into price discovery to the downside. But yeah, overall, Jasmine's getting one hell of a beating as well. Say is another one down absolutely massively. Down absolutely massively. I think it's down nearly 80% now from its December high. Yeah. So if it gets, well, where it's at the moment, it's about 78%. Coming into this zone of interest, it'll be about 81, maybe 82, 83. Aero's a coin we've looked at on stream a lot. Now, this is again, you can actually see more price history on this on Dex Screener. But again, I'm not interested in entertaining this anymore. My idea was it would do something like this, potentially. Accumulate and then maybe bounce back up. This is the main Dex on base. So, the main Dex used on base. So, it's interesting, like. But again, you know, while it's going down like this, no interest in catching a falling knife. Is Bitcoin just refusing to drop any lower? Looks so, doesn't it? It looks so. Watch it be on a... Yeah, I know. Yeah, do you remember his boiled chicken? His boiled chicken thing was... Yeah, that's the guy, Florin, the boiled chicken guy. I've never met anyone that boils chicken before. I've never known that as even like a thing that anyone would entertain. Oh, this Newsmax is down even more now. It's down another 19% today. What a crazy run that went on. Do make sure you've dropped a like on the stream if you are new. So we have a look to see if we've got any interesting news coming out. I doubt there's going to be much. Wintermute transfers. So I think, yeah, so this FDUSD, Justin Sun put out a post on it, didn't it? Saying that it was illiquid or something. I don't know. Was it? So it depegged all the way down to 92. But it looks like it's regained its peg so far. But I'm sure Justin Sun put something on this about it not being fully collateralized or something. Sex listings outperform NASDAQ and Dow IPOs. Really? What, on like the first day? Surely that's not true after a while. Yeah, there's nothing really too much, is there? Nothing really too much going on, I don't think. Oh. Let's set some alerts. Oh. Set some alerts, shall we? Should I take my profit at the moment, 1.62% on BTC? I can't give you financial advice. Sorry, mate. I'm not a financial advisor. That is completely up to you. So I can't tell you what to do. It's up to you, mate. If you're happy with the profit, then you can take it off the table. You can set your stop loss to break even. These are all just standard practices that you can implement. You can trim some profit, add a trailing stop, stuff like that. But I can't tell you what to do or whether you should do a certain thing. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. See, so we're getting every time it. I mean, this is obviously on a very low time frame because we're on the 5 minute, but every time it looks like it's trying to bounce, it's just getting sold into, isn't it? Which should drive Bitcoin down further. Just a game of patience, I suppose, isn't it? I think it's a game of patience. Hey mate, well, what do you think? Just settling on tariffs now. We resume towards. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because like I was discussing this towards the start of the stream, markets are forward looking. So obviously we've been having the sell off. You know, we had the sell off on Bitcoin a while ago, didn't we? But you know, alongside the S&P, Bitcoin steadied where the S&P has just been down only. You know, if this week closes red, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be 6 red weeks in the last 7. Obviously, with tariffs getting priced in. Now, at some point, you get max fear priced in. So the markets will reach max fear because they'll have priced it in ahead of time. So regardless of when the tariffs come into place, I think some of them come in tomorrow. I think some of them come in on the 9th. I think at some point in the near future, we will get kind of max fear priced into the market. And then even with tariffs being implemented and stuff like that, we'll catch a bounce. Now, where that is obviously difficult to imagine in it because pretty much at the moment, Bitcoin's relying on the S&P to bottom out. So if the S&P finds a bottom somewhere soon and then, you know, creates a bottom and then starts bouncing to the upside, Bitcoin will follow. You just have to have kind of your wits about you, maybe identify some levels where you'd be interested in stepping into the market, wait for Stonksy to go green, stuff like this. My personal opinion is, if not already, we're close to max fear, I think, on tariffs. Because, like I said, the markets are forward looking. So markets have been anticipating this up until this, you know, so-called Liberation Day that it was yesterday. So then you look, okay, well, what will the market start looking ahead to now? So something the markets might start looking ahead to now is countries starting to remove tariffs on the US. So then obviously the US reciprocates that by removing tariffs on them. So a bullish case, or, you know, a case for a bounce on the markets, TradFi wise and crypto wise, would be that countries start bowing down to Trump and saying, okay, we'll remove our tariffs now because we don't want, you know, you to put tariffs on us. So that's something the market might start looking ahead to, is, you know, countries starting to comply with what Trump wants. If Litecoin hits $80, then what about Ethereum? I think Litecoin's already at $80, isn't it? No. Yeah. Litecoin pretty much hit $80 today. So we'd only be going down another 1.6% on Litecoin if we go back down there. So I imagine ETH maybe just comes back down towards 750-ish, maybe a bit lower. But nothing too major, I don't think. Can I get 5 booms? Everyone spam boom in the chat, and maybe we'll do 5 big booms for the stream. We do have 33 people watching on YouTube, so do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. Do make sure you subscribe if you're new as well. Okay, so continuing down. Some of these, you know, may be showing signs of settling, aren't they? I mean, Amazon's not. Tesla's come back down. Some of them may be showing signs of settling. I don't know. Oh, wrong. That's memes. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. This one gets 5 big booms. Lovely spot buying prices today. I'm going shopping tonight. Very nice, mate. Very nice. What's taking your fancy, crypto bro, in the market? What's taking your fancy? Anything specific? You going after some large caps, or what are you going shopping for? Anyone else looking at anything specific? I really feel Doge hits $1. So that would be, I mean, anywhere close to $1 at the moment. Where is it? So it's 16 cents. So that would be around about a 6.5 X, something like that, from where it is now. I mean, even if you probably maybe want to try and front run it a bit, don't you? Maybe get rid of it at 90 or 95, maybe. But even that, yeah. I mean, I think if it looks quite tempting in the kind of like $13 to $14 region, 13 to 14 cent region. I mean, whether it gets there is a different story, isn't it? But yeah. Solana close to 100 is great. Yeah, I think so. I think Solana 100 might be a good shout. Because like I was discussing before, you know, if you look at it, $100 itself is a level where you could see it bouncing. You know, there was a lot of PA around this, you know, just above it. You know, a lot of daily closes and opens around 102-ish. But $100 nearly bang on pretty much was the spring for this move, where it got really, strong expansion. Also tied into that with it being a psychological level in it, big round number. I think there's a lot of eyes on this region here, this 75 to kind of like 85, 83, wherever, anywhere in here. There's a lot of eyes on this, so, that would kind of be maybe seen as a gift, wouldn't it? Unless it would just fall right through there and completely collapse towards 50. So maybe $100 is where it comes in and, maybe bids here get left unfilled. We'll just have to wait and see. Bitcoin's bouncing a little bit on this 5-minute candle. With Sol, sell half at 250 and aim for 450. Okay. I'm averaging down my DCA bars. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Well, enjoy some shopping tonight then. Subscribe, says TMG. Yeah, do make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Let's see how many likes we got up to. 30. Very nice, very nice. If there is anyone in the stream that hasn't liked yet, do please drop a like on the stream. Very much appreciated. And if anyone is looking to trade anywhere, do make sure that you're using BLOFIN. You can find the link first in the description, or it is pinned to the chat too. Non-KYC, so you create an account with just an email. And there's a bunch of reasons on the Stonksy website why you should sign up under the exchange heading. Such as non-KYC, like I just mentioned, and you can use it anywhere in the world with a VPN, but also in terms of security and safety. do make sure you can obviously pause the stream if you want to, or click on the Stonksy website and have a look. Yeah, interesting though. It is interesting. Oh, Mitchy. Yeah, Mitchy. We've been on stream for just over 2 hours now, 2 hours and 5 minutes almost. So let's do a little roundup of what we've covered today. So obviously, mainly at the start of the stream, we was looking at the reaction to the Liberation sort of conference or whatever you want to call it yesterday by Trump. Pretty much everything rallied into it and then dumped down very aggressively. Stonksy bot caught a great long on this from 85k upwards. Got saw live on stream when Save a Crypto joined, but yeah, some fantastic trades going on the Stonksy bot at the moment. Obviously, yeah, Bitcoin's been hit hard by it. The S&P's down majorly. The Mag 7 getting absolutely the floor wiped with them. However, it looks like some of them are bouncing, some of them are holding, and then some of them are like, what was that? Amazon's dropping lower. But yeah, all in all, a bit of a bloodbath today across the market. We've had ETH down, take its March low here. XRP, it's still trying to hold on to that $2 level, but if we lose that, it could begin its downtrend. Sol is breaking down, alongside a host of other altcoin worries and a sea of red. But pretty much, we got we've not really done anything actually since US Open. We had US Open where we pumped up a bit, and then we come back down on Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, that's Sol. US Open on Bitcoin, yeah, we pumped up on Open, come back down, and then we've had a little pump up. So it looks just lower time frame consolidation at the moment around these levels. And that's pretty much it today. We've not had too much volatility on US Open. A lot of it obviously came in after hours yesterday on Bitcoin, the few hours after the conference. So, what's your fave sport? Football. Football, and if you was to ask me my second, I have no idea. I could probably pick a few. No 81k. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we, Shoots? We'll have to wait and see. It could happen, of course. Maybe we get a drop lower. We'll have to wait and see. Unless, obviously, you've already longed it, then obviously you're wanting upside, aren't you? Depending on what you're doing. Stonksy's still short on the 5 minute. But yeah, all in all, very nice stream, and obviously a lot to cover from what happened yesterday. So it's always good when we've got volatility in the market. Makes the streams nice and fun. But before you go, do make sure you drop a big thumbs up on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on X, make sure you pop over to the YouTube channel and drop me a subscribe. I'm closing in on 2,000 subscribers, so it'd be great to get there as fast as possible. And do make sure you click the links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, like I mentioned just before. Best non-KYC exchange. And if you're wanting to get Stonksy, you obviously get full indicator access to the Discord, and you get whitelisted for the trading bots. Like I mentioned, the high-frequency one took a fantastic trade to the upside yesterday. You can get all that on the same package. No matter what you buy, you get access to everything. But you can get the monthly for 20% off your first month. So that link is in the description. Or for those of you watching on X, if you click the Stonksy link in the X profile to take you to the website, you select the monthly button here, and then you put code BOT20, so BOT in capitals 20. That'll take 20% off the fee for you, down to 116 for your first month. So come and try it for a month. It's on a rolling plan. But if you do want to pay in crypto, click the email address hyperlink, and just say, you know, you want to try the monthly plan, you want to use the bot discount, and you would like to pay on whatever network and asset you're choosing with. And it'd be great to see you all in the Discord. If you do join, when you join the Discord, make sure you drop a message in there and say, hi, I come from Dave's stream. It'd be great to know who's jumping in from the streams. But it should be interesting tomorrow. Obviously, we've got Friday stream tomorrow. So we'll see what's happened between now and then. Are we going to get upside, down, more downside on the S&P and Bitcoin between now and then? Are we going to maybe get some low time frame consolidation? It's going to be interesting what happens, but we'll cover it as usual on tomorrow's stream, and we'll see what trade Stonksy's been taking as well. But in the meantime, that is all for me today. Big thank you for joining. Do make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you go. And yeah, if you take us up on that fantastic offer that we're running, 20% off your first month, make sure you let me know in Discord when you join. It'd be great to know who joins from the streams. But take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is where you are. And I'll catch you all tomorrow for Friday's stream.